What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, aka Darth Apocalypse. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to Dorian once again, knocking out these old video requests. Uh, so shout out to Dorian for the donation to the channel, and he wanted me to do a video on who I think would win between 2025 Thunder versus the 2002 Nets. Okay, this one is pretty easy. Okay, look, that Nets team was ballsy. Pause. That Nets team was feisty. It was a high IQ basketball team. I believe the coach of that team was Byron Scott, if I'm not mistaken. Jason Kidd showed just how effective a floor leader he was with that team the year prior when they had Starbury as the point guard. I believe they only won 25 games, 26 games, something to that effect. I believe that year, with his initial year with that team, they won 50 games. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the last time the Nets have won 50 games. Was 2001, 2002. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think it was the last time they actually won 50 games. And that team ultimately lost to I believe the Lakers in a sweep in 2002. Then the next year they went to the finals again, lost in six to the Spurs. Look, this is the thing, man. This would probably be a 4-0 sweep. Um, the key to neutralizing the Nets is stopping Jason Kidd's point of attack and making the others beat you. And I got all respect in the world for Kenyon Martin. I got all respect in the world for, Kerry Kittles. I think he was still on that team. I got all the respect in the world for Keith Van Horn. I don't have much respect for Richard Jefferson, but it is what it is. But that team just didn't have the firepower nor the depth to contend with the Thunder. Now, I think that they're a feisty team. They're physical. Um, they'll be a little bit of a tougher out than we think they would be. Like, I don't think these will be all 40-point blowouts or anything like that. But the Nets just don't have enough. They just don't. They just don't. I think what you really have to look at is, do the Thunder play with their food with the Nets like the Spurs did? See, the Spurs in 2003 kind of played with their food a little bit with that New Jersey Nets team. They should have won that series in a sweep or at very least five, but they kind of, they kind of played with them a little bit too much. The Lakers knocked them out, and even then, the Lakers kind of play with their food a little bit when you watch some of those games. Um, the Thunder just got too much firepower, man. They got too many guys that can create their own shots, too many guys that could score. Versus the Nets, where they're better when Jason Kidd is running the point and being able to get guys in position so they can be most effective. Um, I could see maybe in this series Richard Jefferson averaging 20 something, 24 maybe, but it's not going to be enough. I can see Kenyon averaging like 16 and 10 or 9, but it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. And if you stymie Jason Kidd's point of attack and you take away the playmaking dominance that he has, um, then you're forcing him to be more of a shooter slash scorer. And Jason Kidd was not an outside shooter. If he forced the ball out of his hands, nah, I don't see it. I don't see how they win a game. Honestly, I really don't. I think the Thunder sweep their ass, man. Now the Nets are a good defensive team, and I think defensively Jason Kidd will do a decent job on Shea. Because we've seen that Shea can be rattled, Shea can be slowed with physical defense or physicality. But generally speaking, I mean, even if you slow Shea down, you still got Jalen Williams. Uh, Matter of fact, let me look at this Thunder team again. Let me just remind people of the depth that team had. I mean, I know we just saw 2026 Thunder, but let's just check this team out right here. So you have Shea Gilgeous Alexander, right? Then after Shea, you have Jalen Williams. Then you have Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, Lou Dortz, Kassan Wallace, Aaron Wiggins. That team had Isaiah Joe, Alex Caruso, then the other Jalen Williams. And you saw what AJ Williams did in these playoffs, right? This past playoffs. I mean, they're an exceptionally deep team, and I don't see I don't see how I don't see how the Nets win this series. I don't. I think it's 4-0 Thunder. Cause we gotta remember, man. Look, the Eastern Conference was pretty weak at that time. They were pretty weak, and the only superstar this team has is Jason Kidd, and there's not much you have to worry about as far as deadly scorers on this team. It's Kidd. Jason Kidd is the head of the stick you got to cut off, and that's what the other elite teams did, and that's why the Nets, although they represented the Eastern Conference 2 years in a row, the Eastern Conference really was kind of weak. I mean, look at their competition in the East at the time. Like, this is before the rise of, well before the rise of the Boston Big Three. This is before the rise of the Detroit Pistons. This is before the Nets team got Vince Carter. This is when their main competition was was it the Jim O'Brien version of the Pacers and the Boston Celtics with Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. Antoine Walker. I mean, come on, man. Iverson, Sixers. No knock on AI, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not in the same. They just don't have the talent, man. Tell me what you guys think.